As Hurricane Florence bears down on the coast of North Carolina, people are packing up their things and leaving, or battering down the hatches in preparation for the worst. But what about the residents who can't pack up their things and leave? In this video, we're going to talk about how wildlife respond to hurricanes. So first things first, let's get a little primer on how hurricanes work. Hurricane Florence, as of the making of this video, is a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, which ranks hurricanes from Category 1 to 5 based on the top wind speeds. Category 1 has top wind speeds in between 74 and 95 miles per hour, while a Category 5 can see wind speeds in excess of 157 miles per hour. While Florence is by no means the top of this list, having winds in excess of 100 miles per hour still makes this thing a force to be reckoned with. And with the state expecting billions of dollars in property damage, we can expect there will be a lot of habitat damage as well. So how are wildlife populations going to respond? Well, for one, the Outer Banks of North Carolina have an iconic population of wild horses. While conservationists are concerned about their well-being, they've decided to leave them alone. This is because they believe their instincts will drive them together and to high ground. After all, these horses have been here for hundreds of years and have probably survived their fair share of hurricanes. Similarly, more inland, animals will be forced to high ground or to flee the area. But not all animals are going to be lucky enough to get to high ground or get out of the area. In fact, many of them will probably not survive the storm. Hurricanes are a form of natural disaster, meaning that there will be significant damage in the wake of the storm. And as a result of this damage, we'll probably see some losses in animal populations. Fallen trees and floods will probably account for most of this, as many animals make their homes where the trees will be falling, or where floods will fill. Without shelter, these animals will be drowned out or die from exposure. Birds and other flying animals might be displaced tens or even hundreds of miles away from their home range. This actually happened in 2010 with Hurricane Earl. A pelican from Florida was displaced all the way up as far as Nova Scotia. This pelican, who people have come to call Ralph, was actually rescued and brought to a rehabilitation center before brought back to his home. But not all birds that get displaced by a hurricane will be this lucky. Many of them will end up dying from exposure or starvation in the foreign areas where they end up. And that's the reality of natural disasters. They cause massive destructions. That's why they're called natural disasters after all. But at the end of the day, as they said in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. In the wake of destruction comes an opportunity for new habitats and new ecosystems to arise. This is a process that people call succession. After a major disturbance, like a hurricane, something that causes destruction to the habitat in such a way that life is removed, after some time, you'll start to see primary successional species return to the area. Example of these are small, simpler, weedy plants that come take root because they can survive in a wide variety of environments, including the harsh, hostile, post-disturbance area. These plants hold the soil together to prevent more erosion and start adding new nutrients to the soil, so more delicate, longer living plants can come take root as well. Before you know it, after a few months or even years, a vibrant community of plants will have established itself in the area where a disturbance occurred. And where there's a community of plants, you're bound to attract insects and other herbivores. Before you know it, the plants have attracted herbivores, the herbivores have attracted predators, and something resembling the former glory of the habitat has established itself. So even though a hurricane might seem scary, we have to look on the bright side. In a few years, it'll all be a bad memory. Property can be rebuilt, habitats can come back, life will go on. I want to close this video by saying that I feel for the people who live at the beach, who may be losing their houses or belongings. And those of you watching, if you have any way of sending help, do it. It could mean the world to somebody. And those of you who live here in North Carolina, be safe during the hurricane. After this whole thing blows over, we'll need to focus on rebuilding. Be safe this hurricane season, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.